two of them stepped into the hall. Vivienne switched off the light, then shut and locked the door. In a position of leadership, especially one so newly forged, it's better to think about the long-term goals for a stable work environment. Sowing discord will only turn the other teachers against her. "Well, the students love her," Claudia said. Vivienne sighed. Her niece had missed the point entirely, but she was only 16 and thought the world revolved around her. She didn't understand that students would come and go, but the teachers remained, and if Principal Rothschild wanted to keep her job, it would be in her interest to have their support. "How did your classes go?" she asked, shifting to a safer topic as they walked to the parking lot. Claudia began discussing her recent grades in English and history, described the study group she'd formed, then fell silent. "Did you not receive your French essay results today?" Claudia flushed and fiddled with her bag. "I passed." Vivienne stopped to look at her niece. "Define passed." "C+?" Vivienne pressed her lips together, biting back her anger, and watched Claudia squirm under her scrutiny. "Perhaps I should switch to speaking French at home, then?" "No, I hate it when you do that. Look, this essay doesn't count much towards anything. I'll bring up my grade with the next essay at the end of the month, and then I'll be back to being an A- student." "Yes, well, unless you want your allowance to drop." "Come on, that's not fair. It's not like we live in France. I don't even see the point of taking this stupid class." "Language is important, Claudia. When you travel, you can't just assume everyone speaks English. By the time I was your age, I already spoke Italian and French fluently, and I could read and understand Latin. By my 20s, I learned Mandarin and German." "I know, but I don't even know if I want to travel." "Of course you do," Vivienne said. "Everyone travels, or they end up like your Aunt Hattie, working in a bookstore with no idea of how the world works." Claudia fell silent. When they arrived at the car, she climbed into the passenger seat, set her bag on her lap, and buckled her seatbelt, her face a stony mask. Vivienne sighed. Claudia had always been fond of Hattie, defending her any time Vivienne criticized her. Only last night, the three of them had argued after Hattie announced that she would be working full-time at the bookstore and not just helping out. Hattie had a bachelor's degree. How could she be content with a retail position? They drove in silence, Claudia's bad mood taking up space in the car. As soon as they arrived home, Claudia unbuckled her seatbelt and fled without waiting for Vivienne to turn off the engine, racing up the steps to the porch and into the house. Vivienne watched her disappear. Her niece would likely remain in her room until dinner. She considered following to explain how disrespectful her actions were, but it had already been a long day. She didn't want another argument with her family. Vivienne climbed the porch steps. Hattie sat in a rocking chair with a book on her lap, sipping a glass of iced tea. She greeted her sister with a smile that accentuated the wrinkles on her face. "Evening, Viv. How was your day?" "Busy," she said, her tone sharp. Hattie looked away, a flush rising to her cheeks. Vivienne softened, thinking to apologize, but the thought was snuffed out when a door slammed upstairs. She walked through the kitchen to her home office, set her bag down, and pulled out her laptop and the student papers, preparing for the evening's work. Midway through her preparations, she looked at the clock. Nearly dinner time. She pushed back her chair and went out to the kitchen. Hattie had come in from the porch and was at the stove sautéing onions. A pot of vegetables simmered on another burner. "Shall I set the table?" Vivienne asked. Usually it was Claudia's job to set the table for dinner, but she could do the dishes afterwards instead, given her sullen mood. "Oh," Hattie looked back at Vivienne, startled. "I didn't hear you come in." "And yet you knew I was home, so I don't understand why you jump all the time." "Oh, well," Hattie returned her attention to the cooking. "So what did you think of Jonathan's bookstore? Quite the business, And the cafe has been so busy lately." Vivienne set down the plates to keep from saying what she really thought. "It's good that you're happy." Hattie glanced at Vivienne over her shoulder and smiled.